The only reason we're doing this is because we needed a longer video. And we were like, well, how do we make a longer video for some of the stuff that we do that only need 2 minutes?
Do you think we should be that transparent this early?
Yeah, we should.
We should. We are.
We're also going to teach you now how to do longer videos that do hold attention or that do work and are known to work, rather than thinking to yourself, how am I going to have to come up with all these new longer content? And also, hopefully, it will mean that you just don't add stuff for the sake of it. So I think our advice is this. Get one piece of long video a month and pick one from this list maybe.
Yeah.
And get good at making it, because it's going to take a lot longer to do.
So
Keep doing it.
We've come up with a few ideas and formats that you can consider for doing your, at least to start with, once a month, longer form.
Then once you think it's working and that maybe you are seeing it's getting promoted more, do 2 of them a month and try and get faster and get your format, and then 3, then 4, and maybe mix between these styles. So the first thing we're going to start on is exactly what we're doing now, which is what, David?
Video podcasts.
Correct.
Why?
You're on the ball today.
Yeah, I'm reading off the prompt. All of that's working.
Why? Okay, well, first up, although this isn't anything to do with longer videos, you can repurpose the heck out of these, which means one 20-minute video could turn into 10 social media trailers to drive people back. We'll be making a video on that, won't we? Tell me about video podcasts, Dave.
So with video podcasts, you've got, I think, one of the best opportunities, most obvious opportunities to make longer content that's still interesting and relatively easy to make. You've got to consider that audiences are already prepared for podcasts. Like, there's a big market for podcasts. So if you say podcasts and you deliver that, they're already into a lean in for a longer time kind of experience. They're expecting it. Plus, you've got the benefit of bringing in a guest. That's also expected. So bringing in a guest means, one, it's bringing in another audience, but 2, you're bringing in someone with expertise. So there's a lot of research kind of built into that guest for you. So there's a bit of a time saving there. So it's still great for your audience. You can cross-pollinate with another audience, and the format's relatively painless to prep for.
So in YouTube speak, you can collaborate easily, and it's easier to produce in... There's definitely still quite a lot of prep, because we've done a few of these before. The edit can be intense until you get the format right, but it should allow you to create longer videos at a high quality standard. That's what
true.
You're trying to say, is it?
But think about that prep. If we were trying to make the equivalent of the short stuff that we make, and we wanted to make it 20 minutes long, the prep for that would be massive compared to the prep that we do for podcasts. So relative to the time, the ratio is pretty good.
So how do you maintain it so that it doesn't suck? If you could give one tip, what do you reckon it would be?
Segment. Yeah. Give your audience some breathing room. Give them chapters or segments so that if you're going to make a few of these, you repeat the segment so that your audience starts to get familiar with, there's this type of segment with some new information in it coming up. That gives them a way to hook into your information.
So we've got our own podcast on another channel. Link in the description if you want to check it out. We're going to take some of those podcasts that teach you how to make podcasts more interesting and how to format them and do the things that Dave's just been chatting about, and we're going to get them on this channel as well, cut up into new lovely videos for you. So make sure you subscribe. Pluggity plug. Next up, live streaming. What do you reckon to live streaming, Dave? Why is this a good way of creating long videos that don't suck?
Okay, now
potentially don't suck.
You can use it with some prep as if you're doing a presentation, and then you'll also get the benefit of the platform backing you up with sharing it out, because at least at the time of recording, live streaming is pushed a lot more by pretty much all the channels, right? All the socials, because they want to promote it more. They want to see people interacting with their platforms as it happens. So like podcasts, more forgiving of the longer content because people aren't expecting it to be really super polished. They're wanting something raw. They're hoping to see things that not necessarily go wrong, but they're expecting to see things that are unexpected.
You're part of the experience when it's live,
That's
rather
right.
than watching one.
And there's the participation factor. So the fact that you can participate with your audience gives them something back. The audience feels part of it, and everyone's a winner. But in that time, of course, there's a lot more. It takes longer to do that, and audiences do tolerate that.
Yeah. So live streaming is all about the prep. If you've got enough followers already, you can pretty much just go on there and do a Q&A once a week. And I know from doing our live streams to very small amounts of people, to our clients that aren't public on our channel, it smashes your watch time. Even if there's only like 20 people watching and they watch for an hour, it can really, a small channel in particular, can really boost your watch time that month. So live streaming can go very wrong. It's all in the prep. Spend a long time preparing your show. I'd say practice it a lot. Get the bullet points. Get it in a slide format as well. Don't just turn up and rabbit, because you're not going to make a longer video that works. Then that's going to suck, and then you're basically back to the same problem that people are going to have if it's not live.
But then all that work doesn't go to waste. It doesn't just get used for that. It can be evergreen. So yeah, I mean, think about those long form seminars that you've ever seen or watched at a networking grouping or a training session or whatever, but that spontaneity that's built into what those presenters are doing, they're not winging it. All of that was planned, so you've got to really prepare.
Prepped.
It's a new word we just invented
today. Yeah. All right, so that's good. And also, as you mentioned, YouTube pretty much loves live content and wants to promote it well. So you might get a double promotion there. Next up, walkthroughs. So by that we mean kind of training, I think.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to know across the board like how everyone would apply this. But in short, it's like take some part of your world that you want to share, you have expertise in, and really go into granular detail about it. Do a walkthrough of an entire process from start to finish, every single step, lay it out. Look, here's how you do this thing.
It's almost alive. Like I watch a lot of these for like digital tutorials, like how to use a bit of software, and they might be 20 minutes long. And the person who's done it is not put any edit into it, isn't even on screen. They're just filming and talking along, and the computer's loading and yours is loading at the same time, so it doesn't feel like it's wasting any time or anything like that. So they do work, and they're very popular on YouTube.
I have a walkthrough of multicam editing in Final Cut Pro that is 3-4 years old. Fortunately, the software hasn't changed enough to make it redundant. I still refer back to it. So I've watched it like 3 or 4 times. So you might get, with this kind of content, repeat viewings. People go back and refer to it to oh yeah, how does it go again?
Yeah, if it hasn't changed.
So
fine.
We make movies. Thank you very much. You guys are legends. It was like life-saving, that video.
It's also good because if the software does update, you've got a whole new video you can make. Doing another, they're giving you ideas for your videos the whole time. It also works outside the software. Obviously, makeup tutorials are massive on YouTube. If you've got anything that you can teach people, you can pretty much do it as a walkthrough, can't you?
Yeah.
So next up on our list, now this is a slightly different one, but also would work great as longer videos. It's documentaries. So good about them, Dave.
Now, I think look out for a bit of a trap here. I think out of all of these, this is potentially the hardest, but also doesn't have to be. So just be careful if you're taking this one on. I think it has in it the ability to be really entertaining. I mean, to uncover really cool things.
You've got to be a filmmaker / journalist, really, haven't you?
I think there's definitely,
or want to be one.
We're coming to a journalism aspect on its own, but for this one, documentary in its pure form is just and its simplest one, I think, is get footage of something that's happening, an event, a series of activities that are important to you and your world. And that could be, I don't know, let's say you're a comic enthusiast. Well, then the obvious thing would be record a load of stuff that's going on at Comic-Con, right? Interview people, have a chat, and then you go back and voice over your narrative of that event. That way, you've got this backbone that you control, and then you just layer on top all that B-roll.
So I think when we spoke about this in practice, because we do that sometimes.
We do.
You said about basically talk for nearly the majority of it as narrative, voiceover, as little on camera as possibly can be, and then get all the footage that you then edit together.
That's right. I think that way, for brevity, I mean, you wouldn't do that if you were quite polished. You would get vox pops, and you would be talking to people. You'd really try to find out what's underneath the hood, as it were, of whatever they're talking about. But to be honest, if this is your first try at it, go and get lots of footage, and then as you're going, recognize what patterns are happening, and start to build a story in your head. And when you go back to studio, write that down, and then even if it's in bullet points, and then talk through your experience of it.
So you can note it down whilst you're going along. Yeah, that's good. That makes sense. What about because we're always for people getting in front of the camera. What about just top and tailing it with a brief intro with yourself?
Yeah, I definitely
like
think
Spinal Tap.
Yeah,
at the beginning of that.
You could really add value just by having, without going up to number 11. Yeah. You could really add value to just some intro where you're presenting to camera. Even like in the case of Comic-Con, you could be outside. Hey, I'm here at Comic-Con. Let's go and see what crazy stuff is going on.
It's a nice touch.
But I don't know why I'm American all of a sudden.
Your events beautifully segues us into the next one. We've put niche events, and you kind of just touched on this. Similar sort of way.
This stuff writes itself.
But maybe using events within your niche as a place to go and get loads of content, interview people. Now, it's tough interviewing people at events. We've tried it. They rabbit on a bit. So you kind of need to keep them short. So you might want to, let's use comics as an example, run in with the mic. Who's better, Batman or Superman? Turn that into a quick cut.
You might just get dozens and dozens of those, and it'll be quite a fun montage. It might last quite a few minutes.
Do you know what's even better? You might find another creator there within the same niche who also does YouTube videos. You can collaborate whilst you're there, get in each other's videos. You can then share each other's stuff out. And you've potentially got loads of footage you can use in the other videos too. But I don't want to say just aim to make a 20-minute video, because it's still going to be really hard to make an event video like that that's 20 minutes. So it'll give you a chance to make longer stuff, but if it starts to get boring, make it 10. Don't just keep aiming for this 20 minutes, because
that is definitely the harder out of the options that we've got here.
See, I like our short videos because, as I said in a vlog recently, they're pretty much the same sort of time that you need to spend on a toilet, which makes them watchable no matter where you are.
Yeah.
20-minute videos.
I mean,
that's a bit long.
That came up in our research of our audience. What do our audience? When do our audience like to watch us?
95% of people
on the
watch
toilet.
Stuff on the loo. Apparently,
Yeah.
I don't know who those 5% of people who are lying are, but so the next style. Now this is another risky one. Is the vlog style, and this is kind of what YouTube's all about now. And a lot of them are long. A lot of them suck, and a lot of them suck but get a lot of views. And then some are fantastic, but a very small amount. Say.
I think this is really challenging. Now, it's not to say that we don't see a lot of it, because the best YouTubers are doing it. But really, like train of thought stuff, often just jump cut it all the way through. I know it's not.
Should we give an example? When we say vlog style, so people who do it well, as we've mentioned Casey Neistat, there's another platform called Corridor Crew. So if you're interested in making videos, you've got to check them out, because they've got some special effects, and they're Hollywood effects artists, and they react to things. But they do daily vlogs as well, like a day, and you see what's going on in the office. The problem is you have to have an interesting thing going on, which I don't have in my life. How interesting is yours? Would it make a very good, interesting daily vlog? The vlog style is something everyone wants to copy, and even in business world, we get people coming to us going, "We want this style." And when we say to them, "Cool, have you got a whole day? A couple of film crews to do it properly. Have you prepared it? The edit's going to be massive." And then they see the pound amounts it might cost to do it well. It's kind of like, it's not worth it, is it?
Yeah.
So anyway, advice on doing it. Obviously, you don't think planning, do you? I said planning originally, but you reckon that actually kind of a similar approach to the documentary, right? Is noting the stuff down throughout the day as it happens.
If you're going to do it regularly, I think you have to. When are you going to do the planning? You've got to get on with your day. So what you'd have to do is fail a little bit until you start making them. Don't necessarily start pumping out the first one you made, but develop a craft in which you're able to film things that as you go you realize, I know roughly what story I'm telling, and then start adding useful stuff to that after. I can't really see how it could be done any other way. I could be wrong. Maybe pop something in the comments if you found a better way of doing it. But if you're regularly vlogging, I think you've got to get used to building the car as you drive it, if you see what I mean.
No, that's fair enough. And then this last one we've got, which was just saying reactions videos, as they're known on YouTube. Now, they're often reacts to Westlife's new video. I mean, I'm so out of touch. Westlife haven't been around for years, so but, they're probably.
Well, don't ask me then.
They react to like Justin Bieber's
I'm 46.
latest song, and they sit there, and they just give their opinion on it. Which, I mean, most people's opinions probably should remain unheard, but some people's opinions are very good, and they talk you through things. But in a business sense, or an SME or creator sense, or a smaller channel sense, we kind of figured out that maybe most people can do it in some way, shape, or form. So we could comment on like Adidas's marketing campaign, and their latest viral hit, and things like that. And how
that would be the obvious thing for us is the campaign. Look at the videos, or maybe even look at a series of the 5 worst marketing videos ever, or the 5 best.
Or that that girl who got like 1 million subscribers in a day the other day because she put a thumbnail of her in a towel. basically. Say if you're doing a channel on film or sport or whatever, you can use clips from films as long as you're commenting on them in your YouTube videos legally. This is something I discovered the other day. So
a form of journalism, and that's what it's there for.
That's right.
So you can't have a situation where journalists are reporting on the world people going, you've got a copyright issue. So that's why it exists. It's there. Use it.
So that's you can comment on anything really, and use other people's videos in your videos to do it.
But
now,
you can't be promoting. It's got to be for, and if you go into any libraries and get, for instance, Shutterstock, and you're getting an image of, I don't know, Spike Lee or something, you got to tick the box. It says for editorial use only. That's what that's talking about.
Okay,
right?
So we should do a commentary thing the next time there's a big viral hit and break it down.
Yeah, we did Kaepernick's thing as a vlog,
Yeah, we did.
and we used some images there, and it was all editorial
But
based.
back then, I thought we were doing something illegal. So
no, it's all about whether or not you are reporting on the thing.
So that's what we'll do.
Yeah.
That'll give us.
You don't need
filler.
a press badge. I mean, if you do need a press badge and it turn out to be wrong,
We're going to try and
we'll find out pretty quick.
If we're going to try and do a couple of longies like this, just to please YouTube. I mean, we could have made this whole video into a 3-minute thing, saved everyone the time. Probably done a heck of a lot of good.
But no, that's not the world.
But no, now we have to drag things out.
We have to. It's not our fault. YouTube made us do it.
Yeah, I'm sorry for that. If you like short videos,
So,
like I do.
yeah, if you want us to do the 3-minute version of this,
just let us know. We'll
let us know.
So we've come to the end now. Here's an end screen. If you want to know more about this whole long short video thing, we've made a short vlog about it, which thankfully you don't have to watch.
We didn't tell you about that at the beginning.
Yeah, which came out the other day, so that's there. And then subscribe as well, because nice things happen to people who subscribe. Can't tell you what, you'll find out.
Yeah, something.
That's it.